The following is a presentation of FSN Pittsburgh.
A day of rest after the season's longest road trip of the year proved beneficial for the Pirates as they broke out the long ball against the Cubs to get the homestand off on the right foot. Ryan Church fought off the flu to slam a two-run shot in the sixth. The difference maker as Paul Mahalam notched his second win of the season. Tonight, Charlie Morton looks to build on the positives from his last start and find a way to shut down the red-hot Alfonso Soriano and get his first win of the season. Game 2 against the Cubs on a beautiful night in the Berg is next on FSN. And it is a beautiful night for baseball in Pittsburgh, and we're here on the North Shore on the Roberto Clemente Bridge as the Pirates get ready to take on the Chicago Cubs in Game 2 of the three-game series. Greg Brown along with Bob Walk. What a beautiful night for baseball again here on the North Shore, Bob, and a nice way to start this homestand with a win last night. And the Pirates using the long ball last night. Ryan Church's two-run homer in the sixth inning, the difference in the ballgame. Andy LaRoche homered in the first inning.
It's definitely something you don't expect out of this club, but right now the offense struggling out the chute in April. We'll take it any way we can get it, and I think we're going to see some fly balls, going to see some more home runs tonight. I think the conditions are right for it.
Well, Ryan Church is in that lineup in left field. Lastings Millage takes his seat. Steve Pierce, who was called up yesterday, is at first base tonight. We might see him for 2-3 straight games. See with Steve Pierce, who's a different guy this time around.
He might be the guy that gives us some instant offense tonight with a long ball. He's just tearing it up at AAA. He really earned another shot up here.
All right, so the lineup might be changing as the days go on here at PNC Park. In the meantime, Charlie Morton certainly hoping for a change, looking for that all-important first win.
I would love to see him go out there and really have command of his fastball right out the chute tonight. I think that'll set up everything else for him. But he has to be able to throw that fastball where he wants to, one side of the plate to the other.
Charlie Morton for the Pirates, a tough left-hander. The veteran Ted Lilly goes for the Chicago Cubs. The Pirates aim for their second straight win as we continue from PNC Park. The Buccos and the Cubbies are next.
Brought to you by PNC. PNC, for the achiever in us all. By Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. And by your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward.
We're back in our broadcast location, but they're walking across the Clemente Bridge where we were just a few moments ago. I'm a bit winded.
That was quite a run up here. When you got to get up here quick, you can't wait on elevators, so we had to run up the stairs all the way to the top. Whew, that was quite.
You're in better
an
shape
exercise.
than I thought.
Yep.
Lou Pinella's lineup against Charlie Morton is brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward, Ryan Theriot leads off, then Kosuke Fukudome. Derek Lee hits third. Marlon Byrd, followed by Alfonso Soriano, hitting .533 his last 4 games. Aramis Ramirez is next, then Mike Fontenot, the switch-hitting catcher Coy Hill, and Ted Lilly.
Yep, Charlie is, still looking for that game to where he goes out there and really shuts somebody down, and it can, afterwards say, okay, I've turned a corner. It was better in his last start, but I still don't believe he's anywhere close to where he wants himself, or really we want him. He is so much better stuff-wise than what we've seen so far.
See his defense behind him. Different look. Ryan Church in left. Andrew McCutcheon in center. Garrett Jones at first base. Steve Pierce now at first base. Bobby Crosby at second. Cedeno and LaRoche on the left side. Domit catches Charlie Morton. And it's Ryan Theriot to lead things off. Good early test for Morton. This is the man in Ryan Theriot. Lou Piniella knows this very well, that Theriot is hitting .357 third in the league and .384 against right-hand pitching, the highest batting average of any player in the league against righties. And it's ball 1. Now, Joe Kerrigan says with Charlie Morton, and I guess all the pitchers, that first pitch strike is just ultra important. But some also believe there's more to it. And this 1-1 pitch is hit into left field, and Church makes the catch. The one away as Morton retires. Ryan Theriot, toughest hitter in the league against righties.
Well, the stats, pretty much have been the same since I've been in professional baseball. It's if you get ahead, strike one. Yeah, they hit probably 70-80% percentage points down from where they hit if it's 1-0, and it varies a little bit year to year and from pitcher to pitcher, but that's pretty much kind of a league type average that I think you can count on. So yeah, you definitely want to get ahead, but there is a monkey wrench in the works, and their highest batting average is when they swing and put first pitches in play. And so you can't just lay it down the middle on the first pitch. You still have to, for the most part, make a good pitch, something with some character to it. I mean, if all you had to do was just, throw a batting practice pitch down the middle, everybody could start out 0-1. Mm-hmm. You're right. There's more to it than that.
It's 1-1 on Kosuke Fukudome. He's 7th in the league in hitting at .338. The Cubs are 3rd overall in batting in the National League, .276 team average, as Fukudome lifts this ball toward left. Ryan Church again near the line, makes the catch. So good start for Charlie Morton.
Yeah, nice clean inning to this point.
Andrew McCutcheon is back after taking the game off last night to rest that sore ankle, and he tested it earlier today and ready to go. And over at first base, Steve Pierce, we may see him for a stretch of games as they try and get Jeff Clement right again.
And get the hot bat in there. Pierce was hitting the heck out of the ball at AAA. You don't want to bring him up here and then just set him on the bench right away. If he's hot, get him out there and use him as a little jump start for the offense.
And he's in front of Derek Lee, 0-2.
That was a nice pitch there. Domit set up right on the outside corner, and that's exactly where Charlie put the pitch.
Man, how about that?
Beautiful hook. How about that? Was right.
Man, what a start. A lot of work to do yet. It's only the first inning, but boy, you're looking for positive signs. Charlie Morton just gave you some positives, striking out Derek Lee looking. First inning against Ted Lilly. This lineup is brought to you by Suzuki. It's Bobby Crosby leading things off. Then Andy LaRoche hits second, followed by Andrew McCutchen, Garrett Jones, Ryan Domit. Last 10 games batting .381. Domit will be followed by Church in the 6th spot. Steve Pearce, his first game this year in the Pirates lineup. Ronnie Cedeno at short, and the pitcher batting 9th again for the Bucks against Ted Lilly.
See Lilly's numbers on the year. Fly ball type pitcher. A little bit of a breeze blowing out the left field. How about some more home runs? We talked about that in the open. The Pirates have been doing some pretty good work with the long ball lately. I'm calling 2 for sure tonight.
Bobby Crosby, his next one will be his second. And that's toward the gap in right center field. And, off the glove of Fukudome. And Crosby will head to second base with a double.
And you could just see that developing. It looked like the ball was going to drop before he got there. And you're just hoping that he gets himself into a position where he's too close to it and can't make the play. And that's what happened. In his mind, he thought he was going to come up with a miracle catch to start the game. So he rolled the dice, and it cost him 90 feet. Turned what should have been a single into a double. Get him over.
LaRoche swings at the first pitch and pops it up. That will not do the job. Derek Lee is called off by Fontenot. Rest of the Cubs defensively, you saw Fukudome in right, Marlon Byrd in center, Alfonso Soriano in left. Right side of the infield is Fontenot and Lee, Terrio at short, Aramis Ramirez at third, Coy Hill, the catcher for Lilly. Andrew McCutchen now back in the lineup. Injured Sunday on a play at first base as he was running toward the bag. Hiroki Kuroda covering first base for the Dodgers. Stepped on first, and McCutchen stepped on him. And McCutchen stayed in the game for a couple more innings, then was pulled. And just to be sure, absolutely certain, they rested him last night as well after Monday's off day. Taken for a ball. Here's a look at the injury in L.A.
You see, this is not uncommon. The pitcher gets there first, and the runner steps on his foot, and of course the ankle rolls over. It could have been very serious. Looked like it at first.
Oh, didn't it though? Pickoff try at second. Good job, but Crosby got back standing. Yeah, McCutchen said he was more scared than anything. Asking him yesterday about it, said really the way he was laying there, he was frightened that was a very serious injury when he first went down.
Even if it was just a real bad sprain, I mean, that could cost you a couple weeks. Back out there. Now, yesterday it was just, he felt fine, just couldn't really cut on it. So today he went out and he felt that he could turn or make that turn around the bases, so he's back in the lineup.
And headed up the middle. Crosby had to wait for the ball to go past, so he'll be held in third, and it's first and third.
A little stutter step by Crosby. Didn't want to get hit with the ball, obviously. Going to be out if that happens. And that cost him a chance to score. There it is. Had to stop. Actually, let it go right between his legs. Can't break right away. If he's able to break immediately, make that ball pass behind him, probably going to score him because Bird had to run sideways a little bit before he got to that ball. One hit right at him in center field.
Garrett Jones, 4 homers, 15 RBIs, 1 for 3 last night. By the way, join us tomorrow night for the finale of this series. We're going to have a microphone on Garrett Jones throughout the ball game. Tomorrow night for the finale of this series. Then Albert Pujols and the Cardinals come to town this weekend. Now Lilly in front 0-2. We're wondering about Church and Garrett Jones. lefties in the lineup against Lilly. His splits over the last 2 or 3 years about even in terms of how he does righties versus lefties. This year, early on, they're hitting .357 against him, are the left-hand hitters. Keep in mind, this is just his 3rd start, coming off the disabled list after having off-season left shoulder surgery for the veteran Ted Lilly. Their career numbers see about even.
I was reading today that he hasn't really got his velocity back to where it's been in his previous years. Not that he's a real hard thrower, but still, it's something that he's going to have to learn to deal with if it's not going to come back. But I think Lou Piniella had a quote that they figure it'll just be 2 or 3 starts and he should be right back where he was as he builds up his arm strength.
He's been a great addition to this Cubs team, has Lilly. 2-2 count. And it's 3-2.
Big difference in their rotation. Zambrano.
Yep, now in the bullpen, at least for the time being. Full count. McCutchen at first and Crosby at third with 1 out. Last year, opponents swiped 12 bases with Lilly on the mound. He caught only 4, or the Cubs caught only 4 of the 16 who tried to steal against the left-hander. Andrew McCutchen, 10 steals in 12 attempts this season. 3-2 count on Garrett Jones. A big early pitch in the game. Smoke toward the seats. Past first base coach Carlos Garcia.
It'll be important to get quite a few base runners tonight. The way that the wind is blowing up the river, it just seems like there's going to be some balls in the stands tonight. And perhaps the team that hits them when there's people on base as opposed to solo shots could be a difference maker in this game.
There goes the runner, and it's lined to right field, and a base hit, and McCutchen will fly to third. 1-0 Pirates. Garrett Jones rips it in front of Fukudome, scoring Crosby.
If McCutchen is not running, he's got to hold up and wait for that ball to bounce. You don't know if it's going to be caught. It's hit right at Fukudome very hard, but when you're stealing and this line drive is ripped behind you, there's no reason to stop and hold up, because if the ball is caught, you're going to get doubled off at second base anyway.
Yeah, that's great to see that, because you talk about that a lot, Bob. It's great to see a player like McCutchen, heck with it, just keep going.
Yeah.
Too many times you see a guy put on the brakes and then this ball popped up toward the line in right. McCutchen is going to tag and just draw the throw. Domet disappointed that he's not able to get McCutchen home.
We're going to see him leave, and I think he slows down just a little bit right about there, but in his mind he's like, it doesn't make any difference because I'm going to get doubled off anyway. So he just drops that left shoulder, makes a turn, and keeps going to third.
And Safe Auto Insurance reminds you that you are safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. Ryan Church will come up first and third, a run in. Church 2 for 4, his first Pirate homer of the year last night. Strike one. Pirates have scored 21 of their 90 runs this season in the first inning. That's the highest single innings total this year. And a little flare, broken bat caught by Fontenot. The Pirates have some action, and they score first in the first, lead the Cubbies 1-0. Tigers broadcaster Ernie Harwell, who passed away last night at the age of 92. No one described the game with more elegance and grace and class, and a few years ago, Ernie Harwell wrote a poem that defined what this beautiful game meant to this beautiful man.
Baseball is a spirited race of man against man, reflex against reflex, of game of inches. Every skill is measured, every heroic, every failing, seen and cheered or booed, and then becomes a statistic. In baseball, democracy shines its clearest. The only race that matters is a race of the bag. The creed is the rule book, and color, merely something to distinguish one team's uniform from another. This is a game for America, this baseball. A game for boys and for men.
Well, I'll tell you, he was my favorite. And Bob, I know you and I went to Tiger Stadium many years ago. You and I joined the broadcast team the same time, and I think it was just 2 years into our broadcasting tenure that we went to Tiger Stadium. And Ernie Harwell treated me, and I think you'll agree, and you, with as much respect as he would have anyone. I mean, it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
what a kind man.
I definitely agree with that. It was just an honor to be in his presence, and he would act like it was an honor to talk to us.
Somebody said, John Paul Moroso of FoxSports.com wrote a great piece today. He said, Ernie Harwell, he was the celebrity who never acted like one. A lifelong subscriber to the wild notion that we can and should enjoy each of our days. And Alan Trammell, who was a Tiger during their glory days of the 80s and early 90s, he is now the bench coach here. He heard the news last night during the game. As Soriano lifts one to right, 2 up, 2 down. That's what Trammell said. He treated everybody the same, whether you're the president or somebody on the street. That's a quality that not too many people have. Here's Alan Trammell. Two outs in the second. Alan Trammell on the staff for Lou Piniella. Ramirez takes a strike. Trammell said a lot of people will be mourning, but he didn't want us to feel that way. Talking about Ernie Harwell. 0-2 now on Aramis Ramirez. And Charlie Morton looking to retire the first 6.
He's throwing a ton of strikes. He's got 15 pitches. 12 of them have been for strikes. And he wants to waste a pitch off the plate away a little bit. Don't get the glove out there. It's very early in the game, just 16 pitches in, but he's showing some of his best command of his pitches we've seen.
Oh, nice play by Andy LaRoche. How about that slick fielding?
Routine for Andy.
Oh. 17 pitches into this ball game, and Charlie Morton has 6 up, 6 down. Great glove work from Andy LaRoche. Bottom of the second inning, and it's Steve Pierce to lead things off, then Ronnie Cedeno and Charlie Morton against Ted Lilly. Pierce at AAA Indy this season was hitting .349 with a dozen doubles, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. And that's a drive foul. Out of play. Good time to get him in there, too, because against the Cubs last year, he was 5 out of 13, a .385 mark, and in his career against Lilly, he's 3 for 7. So hopefully he'll have a good offensive night.
Home run against Lilly,
I believe.
Almost got one there. Did you see where that ball landed up there?
No.
It was up above the Kennemetal sign.
Wow.
And that booth. I mean, it was a blast.
That's
it's foul, but still, I mean, showing some life off the bat.
Yeah, those balls don't go into the suites above the Kennemetal sign too often. Well, they charge a ball for Lilly going to his mouth. Pinella's going to say, you can do that this year. A new rule, but you have to wipe it.
You can lick your fingers on the mound?
It's a new rule this year. As long as you wipe it. Yeah, you don't have to step off the mound anymore.
Wow, I like that rule change.
Pinella questioning home plate umpire Jerry Meals about it.
So Meals must be saying they just didn't wipe it off.
Must have.
We've seen that called before this year.
Yeah.
I don't remember where. I think it was on the road last time we saw it.
For some reason, I want to say San Francisco, but ball popped up, and the catch made by the shortstop Ryan Terrio in front of Fontenot. And we take another look at this fine defensive play.
Andy has made 3 or 4 of these down the line already this year. He's crossed over into foul territory, and he's made it look easy. I'm beginning to think that Andy is about as good with that glove as anybody we see at third base. He has really come alive toward the end of second half of the season, and playing at a very high standard this year.
Oh, a shot off of Lilly. The former Cub Cedeno, who was 2 for 3 last night, has himself a hit here in the second. Right back to the box. Man.
Got the leather on it. Knocked it down. It's like Lily's got a very big glove, which is what you need. You want something to protect yourself with.
Another look from a different angle. Now Charlie Morton going to try and sacrifice the runner to second.
Now why is he like blowing on his hands? Is it that cold tonight?
Well, you and I don't think so, but maybe Ted Lilly does.
So you can. He's asked permission to blow on his hands, and they've said yes.
You're supposed to wipe it. Yeah, that's the rule that you can do that, but you have to wipe it.
Wipe your hand. Huh?
Wanted by Morton. He's going to get the job done. Sacrifice goes 2-4. And Bobby Crosby will come to the plate. We're talking about Ernie Harwell, and just again, our thoughts with all the Tiger fans everywhere and really baseball fans everywhere. We lose a great voice in Ernie Harwell yesterday. That's our PNC achievement, brought to you by PNC for the Achiever in us all. 42 years as Tigers broadcaster. Only announcer in baseball history who actually traded for a player. And September 16th last year,
you Tiger fans are the greatest fans of all. No question about that.
Speech at Tiger Stadium last year. Bobby Crosby doubled off the glove of Fukudome to start the bottom of the first inning, and he would score on a Garrett Jones single. Cedeno at second with 2 outs. 1-1 to Crosby. Ted Lilly is 4-2 lifetime against the Pirates in 12 appearances, a .429 career ERA. He's 34 years old, and again, this is his third start of the season. Floats that one in there for strike 2.
So Daniel needs to really maximize his secondary lead in these situations. 2 outs, 2 strikes. Get a great jump off that bag in case there's a single.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Charlie Morton gets the sacrifice.
Looks nervous, pacing a little bit. Wants that run in.
2-2 count on Crosby. It is now full on Bobby Crosby, getting the start at second base. Aki Iwamura sits against the lefty, and John Russell said Iwamura is fine, no health issues, just giving him a night off.
John Russell's been really rotating the bench in quite a bit of late. Crosby more at bats, Church more at bats. We already talked the fact that he's got Pierce out there right away tonight.
Now Hill going to talk to Lilly with a count of 3-2 on Crosby, and Andy LaRoche on deck. Lilly 1-1, a .491 ERA in his first 2 starts of the year. Crosby, a career .267 hitter against Lilly. But the left-hander gets him for the final out, and the first strikeout for the Cubs starter. Back to work for Charlie Morton. Start better. He went 6 innings, gave up 6 runs, 3 earned against the Dodgers, 6 hits. He says, having a game where I can honestly look back and make some minimal corrections, as opposed to feeling like it was a disaster, is a huge step forward. I've never pitched that poorly consistently in my career. As Morton and the Pirates were looking at the positives of his last start. And strike on Mike Fontenot.
Well, he's got it going through 2 innings this time. I mean, his aggressiveness in the strike zone, very good. 14 strikes, just 4 balls to this point. There's another strike.
Jams.
Soft pop fly.
So a better start than we saw on April the 9th against the Diamondbacks in Arizona for Charlie Martin. Remember, he just had no trouble the first 8 men in the order, but then he gave up 6 runs in the 3rd inning against the Diamondbacks, giving up a leadoff hit to the pitcher Rodrigo Lopez that night.
And he was just dominating first time through the lineup.
And strike 1 on Coy Hill.
The location of these pitches too, like for curveball strike 1, it's just not curveball down the middle for strike 1. It's curveball at the knees for strike 1.
And strike 2, the fastball.
That's the first time I've seen Doman have to significantly move his glove, though. He wanted that ball away. He had to backhand the ball inside on the inside corner. Doman wants this one to bounce on the plate.
Oh!
Throw it down the middle, but no problem. So he wants to put this ball right on top of the plate. And this ball is center cut, mid thigh, but it worked. You don't argue with success. But I don't think he wants to throw a whole lot of those curveballs in that spot when he's that far ahead in the count tonight. That won't work very often.
It worked against Hill. He certainly was frozen. As Bob said, though, Doman wanted it in the dirt.
Well, the thing is that when you're ahead in the count, the pitcher is the hitter is defensive, and he's in a much better position to hit a hanging breaking ball. And that was not in a good spot.
1 ball, 1 strike on Lilly.
If Hill hits that ball out, then you're kicking yourself for making such a poor 0-2 pitch.
And now ahead 1-2 on his mound opponent.
That's why we've talked about this many times. You never say, well, I made 1 bad pitch and it cost me. No, you made probably 30 bad pitches. Well, that one you notice because somebody did something with it. That always happens. You see that quote a lot of times in the paper. That's very seldom the case. You go back and watch the film. There's dozens of pitches that were right in the middle of the strike zone that didn't get hit out of the ballpark, but you don't notice those.
I was just going to ask you, Bob. Oh, he's hit by the pitch. Wow.
Did he swing at it? Ask. Ask if he swung. Check the swing. I wasn't paying as much attention as I should have been, but was there any kind of a check swing there?
A little bit.
Does he start the bat? No check swing at all. But he immediately pointed to his foot.
The umpire, Jerry Meals, at home plate with Mark Wegner at first, Dan Isanya at second, and Dale Scott is at third. Dale Scott, the crew chief. First base runner, the pitcher, Lilly. And now the second time through the batting order for Morton.
And this is where everything fell apart in Phoenix in his first start of the year. A similar type ball game. I think even the Pirates had a slight lead, didn't they? It doesn't make any difference. That doesn't matter one way or another. The fact is that he was very dominant first time through.
And he's
easy out.
Pretty dominant so far. The early going of this one against the Cubs. 1-0 Pirates. Down Syndrome Association of Pittsburgh, a day out at the ballpark, and today his guests, 7-year-old twins, Charlie and his brother Philip, who has Down syndrome. Their father, Mike, is on hand earlier today with his kids. Charlie and Philip joining Andy in the dugout for batting practice. We meet teammates, got autographs, photos taken. Andy LaRoche also purchasing infield box seats for his guests and providing Aramark coupons to use for food and beverage. Kids also receive a Pirates goodie bag. Great stuff from Andy LaRoche.
Well, the kids just had to love that this afternoon. Oh. And I was watching the video there, Greg. I don't know if you noticed or not. If Andy didn't have those good hands, he would have wore that last line drive.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good bullet.
Good practice before the game for Andy.
We're hitting the ball off the tee at him.
A tip of the cap for Pirates, the work they do in the community, Pirates charities, and Andy LaRoche, one of many, doing a lot of work. And he enjoys it, and boy, do the kids love it. One ball, 2 strikes. LaRoche popped up to second, his first inning at bat. Was not able to move Crosby to third, but McCutchen singled and Garrett Jones brought home Crosby. And that's a fair ball past Ramirez, kicking off the short fence. And LaRoche will get to second base. Yes, with a double.
Hustling double. That ball hits the fence and kicked out pretty good to Soriano. You know, you can kind of cut yourself down to just one part of the field when you're hitting everything as consistently as hard as Andy is. Hasn't been using the whole field, but he's been hammering the ball right by the third baseman, his left, his right, for a good 3 weeks now. Well, since he's been off the DL, or not the DL, when he
missed those games,
the
back spasms,
and he came back and he has just been ripping the ball.
His first 9 games this season, LaRoche hit .222. His last 10 games, hitting .405.
Oh, he was out about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. McCutchen showing bunt, and maybe that just draws in Ramirez. As Tony Beasley runs through some signs.
A good time to bunt for a base hit. Kind of a no-lose situation. Even if they do come up with a great play, throw you out. Move Andy to third.
Or lines it into the gap.
That'll move Andy all the way to
center.
dugout.
Hey, look, this could be fun. That's at least 2, and McCutchen is going to put on the brakes.
That was really a fine play by Soriano, able to cut that ball off and keep it out of the corner. It gets to the 4-10 sign. 3, no contest. Alfonso has to race into the gap to stop this ball.
Pirates lead 2-0. Double by McCutchen. His 9th RBI and 3 doubles.
Watch McCutchen as he comes around first. He knows it could be 3. He wants it, but Alfonso just got to the ball too quick. It's a good defensive play.
Testing that ankle. McCutchen, those turns we talked about.
Adrenaline will take care of that when you hit that gap shot. He wasn't feeling it coming around first. He didn't care. Last thing on his mind.
That's ripped down the line in right field. That's a fair ball. McCutchen will trot home. And Garrett Jones into second base with an RBI double. Oh, no. Oh, I thought you could call him out. Little Nigel Morgan action.
Yeah, he went for that little sideways slide instead of sliding straight to the bag.
Bucks bringing out their hitting shoes.
It almost cost him.
4th double already and a 3-0 lead.
Jones gets an inside fastball about belt high, just turns on it, rips it into the corner. shallow out there. He's got to hurry if he wants to get in a second.
2 RBIs for Jones, 17 RBIs on the year, and a 3-0 Bucco advantage. Still no one out. And this ball shot to Ramirez. Off the bat of Doman.
We're trying to work the chalk lines here.
Ball spanked here early on against Lilly.
The third one of the inning.
Pow!
Nice play by Aramis. Moving early. That ball looked like it was hooking away from him.
Ramirez makes the play on the line drive hit by Doman. Now Ryan Church, broken bat. Liner to Fontenot to end the first inning. Garrett Jones, RBI single in the first, RBI double here in the third. Don Long has to like that. Pirates hitting coach.
We should have had 4 consecutive doubles. Could have easily had 4.
Coy Hill calls time. Talk to Lilly. And a pop-up. Fukudome in, Fontenot out. Fontenot puts it away. 2 down, brings up Steve Pearce, Major League Baseball. And People Magazine looking for individuals who make a difference in his or her community. 30 Everyday All-Stars honored at the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. To nominate, go to peopleallstars.com. You know somebody that makes a difference in your community? Nominate that person. peopleallstars.com. Steve Pearce, a little looping fly ball to the shortstop his last time, and he takes a strike. Bucks loved his approach at AAA Indianapolis, giving routinely every night solid at bats. We asked Neil Huntington yesterday about whether there had been any consideration for Neil Walker, whose batting average was strong, and pretty revealing about what the Pirates GM said regarding Neil Walker. He said they still have to work through some things with Neil, some overall growth and maturity left with him. And he said Steve Pearce put himself light years ahead. One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you know, Steve Pearce, a lesson to everybody that, you know, you can't do anything about things that are out of your control, but do something about things that are. You know, you look like you're out of the picture. So what? You come and you have the right attitude. You play hard, and you play yourself right back in. You make them bring you back to the big leagues.
Ball hit to third. Ramirez gets Pearce by a half a step. Pirates pick up a couple more through 3. Lead 3-0.
AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day.
And let's check out this day in Pirates history. It's brought to you by our friends at Day Automotive. It was on this day in 1960. Of course, we're celebrating the 50-year anniversary of the 60 World Series team. Roberto Clemente, 3 hits, including a triple, a homer, and 3 ribbies. Pirates beat the Cubbies at Wrigley 9-7 on this very day in 1960. That's our This Day in Pirates history. Thank you, Day Automotive. Popular Clemente jersey. And there's a popular spot outside PNC Park. Photographs taken by the Clemente statue and the Clemente wall in right. It's a 21-foot high wall honoring the great one. Ball might have nicked off the glove of the pitcher Morton. Cedeno is there to make the play. Fukudome is retired.
Let that ball go. Don't even think about it. Softly hit. A good big league shortstop's going to make that play fairly easily. If you know you can catch it for sure, yeah, go ahead and catch it. It's easier play than for you. But if there's any maybe involved, just let the guy that gets paid to make those plays do it.
Derek Lee takes ball 1. Happy Cinco de Mayo, by the way, Bob.
Oh, thank you, Greg.
And a liner to left field. The first hit of the game for the Cubs belongs to Derek Lee. Speaking of Cinco de Mayo, our AT&T Mobility Trivia question. Who's the Pirates' Mexican-born player with the all-time game played lead? Rethink possible. AT&T Mobility.
I don't know. That's one I can't guess.
I'm going to fire a couple, maybe. Do you think it would be possible that it could be a pitcher?
Renko?
Yeah.
No, wouldn't be him.
No?
Might be a pitcher, but I don't think it's him.
What about Cordova?
No, I don't think it's him.
About Silva?
I don't think it's him.
Well, first and second. Bird punches it to right.
You got to go back a little further.
Do you know?
I'm thinking who it might be. Was in a Pirate uniform a little bit longer than all those guys.
Loaiza?
Maybe not longer than Silva.
Loaiza. Esteban.
I wasn't thinking about him, but that's him. I was even going to go back further. Remember a Pirate picture was on a T-shirt, had the starting rotation, all looked like gangsters. You ever remember seeing a T-shirt like that? He was on that shirt.
Wow. Soriano takes a strike. Fly to right in the second. He's been on a tear. Yesterday, 7th home run of the season, 5th in the last 4 games. He's homered in 4 consecutive games for the first time in his career. 1 game shy of matching the all-time Cubs record for consecutive games with a home run. 5 straight. Sammy Sosa, the last to do it in 1998. Ryan Sandberg also did it in '89. Hack Wilson in 1928. The other Cubs. It's a homer in 5 straight. First and second, 1 out. Soriano with 7 homers and 18 RBIs. April 15th, he was hitting .214 with a homer and 1 RBI. Since then, his batting average .375 with 6 homers and 17 RBIs. Fouled off, 2-2.
Chicago, a tough place to play if you're making a whole lot of money, and well, I guess any place is if you're playing, making a whole lot of money and not putting up the numbers. But the fans in Chicago, they let you hear it in a hurry. There's been a few players that they drove out of there with boos.
BOOS.
Yes.
Yeah, and the thing about Soriano, too, by the way, I mean, they signed that huge contract. They're still paying him and will through the year 2014. Huge contract. And he's also really flubbed some routine plays in left field. That hasn't helped, but this will. His standing with the Cubs fans as this single loads the bases. And the first real trouble spot for Charlie Morton. Bases loaded, and he faces Aramis Ramirez.
Well, Ramos off to a slow start, not hitting much, so maybe get the right guy up there.
Ramirez retired on a fine play by Andy LaRoche. Jim Henry, the general manager of the Cubs, is here.
You know, one thing that kind of stands out, well, there's a few things that stand out on the stat sheet with Charlie Morton. He's not getting the ground balls that he did first part of his short career. In about 140, 50 innings, he's always been about 50-50 ground ball outs, fly outs. This year, obviously not nearly as many innings, but he's getting most of his outs in the air this year. I don't know what the reason for that is. Maybe it's just a small sample size or what, but that is something that's different from his first 2 years with us last year and the previous season with Atlanta. But he's looking for a ground ball right now.
Falls behind 2-0 after getting the first man, Fukudome. The base hit to left by Lee. Marlon Byrd, an opposite field single to right. Soriano, base hit to left. Ramirez was 0 for 4 last night. 2-0 count. And the strike on Aramis Ramirez.
Just in the same spot the previous pitch was. One he didn't get, one he did.
Lee, Byrd, and Soriano, the runners. Ramirez hitting $130 his last 13 games. Very familiar with this ballpark, his years with the Pirates. In fact, he's 4th on the all-time PNC Park home run list. Jason Bay, the all-time leader, followed by Craig Wilson, Brian Giles, and then Aramis Ramirez. 3-1.
Some of that inconsistency of control that we see crop up. I mean, obviously he didn't want to throw the ball that far up and in out of the strike zone. Go to 3 balls with the bases loaded and a 3-run lead.
Right down the middle.
Yeah, and then it comes back and puts the ball just about exactly where he wants to. It's just it comes and goes with him, and that for me is, you know, in a nutshell, what's going on with him this year. The inconsistencies has been inconsistency with where he's throwing the ball.
Full count, 1 out, bases loaded.
Double play ball.
Foul out of play. Kerrigan and Jason Jaramillo, backup catcher. Another 3-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Off the fastball.
Even though he's in a fastball count, 3-2, Ramirez is still, you know, taking it like, say, it's a 2-2 count. He's not trying to get out and catch that fastball out in front of home plate. And so he is just a little late on it, thinking that he'll be satisfied with fouling the fastball off. And if he gets a breaking pitch that's thigh high in the middle of the strike zone, he would be just in time to hit that one hard.
Another 3-2 pitch and a fly ball to right field. Garrett Jones will make the catch. Runner third will tag. Throw will come towards second. And it's an RBI sacrifice fly. Second out of the inning, and it's a 3-1 ball game. Lee crosses the plate, Bird to third.
Good job by Jones. Just, the job right here with that 3-run lead. Well, after he catches it, it's going to be a 2-run lead, but he knows the tying run is over at first base. He throw one hopper right to the second base bag. Make sure Soriano does not get into scoring position. The heck with the other two guys. Soriano is the one that he could do something about, and he did.
Fontenot popped up in the third.
How many times this year have we seen, and not necessarily us, but all teams, somebody will make that long throw from the outfield, big rainbow shot all the way to third base, trying to stop somebody tagging, and the guy from first tags and follows them into scoring position. We've seen it more often than not. But what we just saw from Garrett Jones, that's the proper way to do it.
Fundamentals. Second base. That's where the throw went. Fake to third, look toward first. Falls behind Fontenot, 2-0. Fontenot not in the starting lineup last night against the lefty Paul Mahalam. Jeff Baker started at second. Fontenot came on as a pinch hitter in the ninth inning and struck out against Octavio Dotel. Dotel earning his fourth save. Mahalam got the win. Bucks beat the Cubs 3-2. They lead 3-1 here in the fourth. And slapped toward left. That's a fair ball. 3-2 ball game.
Jones keeping the runner at first base. He saves a run right there. He tries to throw that ball all the way into third base and stop that runner. Then this base hit ties the game instead of just driving in the second run. Fontenot just didn't try to do a whole lot. Very defensive swing. Just slaps it the other way.
First visit to the mound for Joe Kerrigan.
Fontenot, every time I hear you say his name, I'm thinking of like one of the stops on the way to Olympic Park on the Montreal subway.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one called Fontenot?
I think so. You're right. Like Fontenot.
No, there was about 10 stops we'd have to go on the way to the ballpark every day if we took the subway. I think one of them might have been Fontenot.
From Lafayette, Louisiana. Like Fontenot. It's the base hit that drives in the run.
You remember the stop the hotel was in? Pie 9.
Ah, Pie 9 indeed. Yep.
Or was that the ballpark?
Well, Pie 9's the ballpark. Then what was the hotel stop?
I don't know.
Was that Fontenot? Coy Hill is at the plate. Yeah, we won't give away tomorrow's AT&T Mobility Trivia Quest. We'll leave that for Tim.
You know what? I miss being able to practice my French.
Yeah.
Like Montreal.
Hill struck out looking in the third.
He struck out on an 0-2 curveball right down the middle. In the middle of the plate, mid-thigh. Just took it. If he'll get another one of those hooks this at bat, you would think so.
Foul down the line and left.
Might be looking for it the way he was a little bit late on that fastball. Although, that fastball, again, an indication of Morton at times throwing the ball right where he wants to and other times not. That one was perfectly placed. Doman pops out outside corner, throw it right here, and Morton did. the hook. That was the strikeout pitch for Hill, first time up. He left it outside this time. Tried to maybe backdoor it. The backdoor to a left-hand hitter with a right-hand pitcher is the other side of the plate.
That breaking pitch fouled off.
When you're looking in at the plate, anytime you bring something from outside over that outside corner, that's what they call a back door. You'll see the curveball kind of break in just like that, and that's your classic backdoor curveball.
And right to second, and the toss from Crosby to Cedeno. That was a fancy arrow, by the way, Bob. I don't know if it was done intentionally or not, but it's frightening. 3-2 Pittsburgh. Games decided by 2 runs or less. Pirates 8-1 in those situations. Barrel Automotive definitely worth the click.
It shows you how important starting pitching is to this club. You keep it close, give them a chance to win. They've done very well in those situations.
Headed up the middle, shortstop there. Terrio will not get Cedeno, who may be coming to life again at the plate against his former mates. 2 hits last night and 2 for 2 tonight.
How about the 2 balls that were topped that the shortstops went after? Look how deep Terrio stays on this ball. He's out on the outfield edge of the outfield grass. That gives Cedeno at least an extra step, maybe an extra step and a half. And now let's watch where. Here's Cedeno going down the baseline. Maybe later we can get a look at Cedeno making that same play where he got the out and see where he was.
That's a fair ball, and out there, double play. Morton tried to sacrifice. Instead, it's a double play.
Why did he stop? He's hearing a few boos from people that don't understand why he stopped. Did he think this was a foul ball? Well, he has to allow the catcher to, room to make a play. He can't just plow into the catcher as he's trying to pick up the ball, and that would be interference. But then he kind of just gave up, and I think that's what fans weren't liking. But he wasn't going to beat that one out anyway. Very seldom see pitchers run down like they're Olympic sprinters anyhow.
A ball and a strike on Crosby, who has doubled and struck out.
Here it is again. And Charlie, he's got to wait for the catcher to get out of his way before he can start running. Now, if he would have started right away, then the catcher would have had to wait for him. But once he hesitated a little bit, and that gave the basically gave the catcher the corner, and he had to back out.
And down on strikes goes Crosby. After 4, Pirates lead by 1.
He took on that ball up the middle. Now watch this. Way back on the grass. What's the difference? Safe. 2 shortstops, 2 different angles. Cedeno gets an out. And they didn't. That's our Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Good work there, Bob.
Well, that was a great work in the trailer down there, showing the how shallow Cedeno was. He took a nice angle, was able to get the out on that slow bouncer up the middle, and then on the other side of the coin, Terrio took a very wide angle, got out almost on the outfield grass, and you can't throw out a fast runner when you go that deep. And some of that difference is perhaps Cedeno a little quicker on his feet. He can get to that ball with taking a more direct angle.
Cinco de Mayo AT&T Mobility question about who has the most career games. A Mexican-born Pirates player. You think Vicente Palacios? I like that call, Bob.
You like that call?
Oh, but it's Mario Mendoza.
Oh,
we had a fan text in. Enrique Romo.
That would have been an excellent guess. That would have been, in fact, that would have been, if I would have thought of that, that would have been a deadlock, I would think.
Bounce to short.
I mean, he didn't Chuck pitch him like every other day.
Yeah, a ton. Back in the late 70s, early 80s.
After giving up a couple of runs in the top of the 4th, 2 quick outs here in the 5th, Charlie has reestablished himself. Charlie's doing a good job of throwing strikes. He might not have pinpoint control tonight, but he is working ahead. He's throwing a lot more strikes than he has balls, 42-17. And it's not just with the fastball. He's able to get something over the plate other than a fastball tonight. He's throwing a lot of off-speed stuff for strikes, especially that curveball of his. Normally we'll have seen 2 or 3 curveballs at this point bounce way out in front of the plate, almost on the edge of the grass. I haven't seen any of that tonight. He's found a pretty good touch with that pitch. There's another one there. Just finessed it right in. I don't know if that was a curveball or not, but off-speed pitch right at the knees, outside corner. Good job. A changeup, perhaps?
I just thought it was a breaking ball, but I don't know.
Well, that's what it's always safe to call him a breaking ball.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Or even better than that, off-speed pitch.
Right.
That covers
that takes care of
everything. Oh, he threw a nice off-speed pitch there. That's just a step up from saying he threw a baseball.
Just the side.
Oh, he threw a nice baseball there.
Charlie Morton, the former Brave, 3rd round pick of the Atlanta Braves in 2002. And towards short again.
Another breaking ball for a strike. Easy inning.
It's so promising to see him really bounce back after giving up 2 in the 4th with a 1-2-3 5th. Night, good stuff from Indianapolis, AAA affiliate of the Pirates, the Indians. Outfielder Jose Tabata, 2 for 3, raising his average to 340. Daniel McCutchen, 6 innings, no walks, 7 hits, 3 runs. He's 1-1 with a 2.77 ERA at AAA. Rudy Owens, the left-hander, last year's minor league pitcher of the year, 6 no-hit innings last night for AA Altoona. For Rudy Owens, now has a minuscule ERA. But if you think his earned run average is low, I'll show you
I think
what happened at Bradenton. And you see Andy's Army, LaRoche's Army in left field rooting for a hit. Instead, it's a line out to 3rd. Brian Morris today at Bradenton with the Marauders. 7 innings, a 4-hit shutout ball.
0.78 is ERA. Wow.
You have to believe that he can't be too far away from a promotion, you'd think, to AA. The work that Brian Morris has done. Brian Morris, boy, it's great to see him back not only on the radar, but back to one of the top prospect status in the Pirates organization. After a bit of a stumble, acquired in that deal with the Dodgers and Red Sox. Brian Morris, former first-round pick of the Dodgers 4 years ago. Started to rebound last season at Lynchburg toward the second half and putting up great numbers at Bradenton. with the Marauders in the Florida State League. To third, McCutcheon is retired for the first time.
And as we know, that's not really an easy place, McKechnie Field, to pitch in. Anybody that's got exceptional pitching numbers there, I think I'm doubly impressed. The month of April, weather-wise, can't be that much different than March down there, can it? Got to have the wind blowing out. That is a bandbox on most days during the month of March.
Also tonight, Ross Ollendorf is pitching in a rehab, hopefully his only rehab assignment before rejoining the team and perhaps starting on Monday against the Reds. So far, so good for Ole against the Richmond Flying Squirrels.
The Flying Squirrels.
The AA Altoona Curve Club playing Richmond in Richmond, Virginia. And Ollendorf, 4 innings of 2-hit shutout ball with a walk and 6 strikeouts.
You know why they call them the Flying Squirrels? Huh?
Oh, why's that?
They'll play for peanuts.
That is
fair ball.
Fair ball, according to the home plate umpire, Jerry Meals.
Oh, now, Garrett, don't be putting your bat down. They'll throw you out for that. You point to something, you draw a line. He was almost tossed right there.
In the bottom of the 5th inning, catcher unassisted. And a couple of plays right there at home plate tonight. Charlie Morton in the 4th, and now here Garrett Jones.
Yeah, watch where this ball is picked up at, and you're going to see that it was definitely in fair territory. Garrett is really walking a fine line there, pointing to anything with your bat. The umpires cannot stand that. I've seen guys will touch a spot saying where a pitch was, and boom, you're gone. I think Delwyn Young last year got thrown out for just touching the barrel of his bat to the ground. Remember that?
Yeah.
There's a few things that are no-nos, and that's one of them. If you're a hitter and you start pointing things out on the ground to the umpire, that you get maybe just 2 more seconds, and then if you actually make a mark or a line, forget it. You're done.
I hope we get a chance to have a replay at some point tonight, another replay, so that we can use that shadow that you just used. I think that's a neat feature. Did we get that opportunity? The box shadow.
It's not working.
Well, that really, I think, brought everything into focus.
Yeah, well, try it again. Try it again.
I don't think so. Lee has struck out, singled, and scored. Well, the Plum High School Junior ROTC program is here tonight. They stopped by the booth to say hello. They're out in the ballpark tonight watching the game. Two and two. The count remains on Derek Lee. He got the first hit of the game in the 4th inning off Morton. Then Marlon Byrd and Alfonso Soriano followed with base hits. Loaded them up. Ramirez a sacrifice fly. Fontenot singled in the 2nd run. Ground ball. One out in the 6th inning. Well, you're traveling this season, take the Pirates with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv. See every Pirates game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Pirates.com. Order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
And that really does work good. I was amazed.
And take it from us. We subscribe and we love it.
See any game you want. You can go back and look at games in the past too, right there.
Yep, archive.
I mean, if you're really a diehard, you want to figure out, for instance, Charlie, you look at this game and then go back, look at one of his others, back to back, make some notes, see what the difference is. He's doing something tonight that's definitely right.
Oh, broken bat, one hopper. Oh, nice stretch and pick by Pierce at first.
Pennsylvania gives him a nice point and a smile. First base being Pierce's natural position. We saw him in the outfield quite a bit.
He loves playing first base. He made note of that when he was promoted last year. The second half of last season.
That's a great shot there with Ronnie. He knows it's going to bounce and he tries to get down low. Little body English there, just trying to help Pierce out.
Strike one on Alfonso Soriano, who singled his last time. There they are. Cedeno at short and Steve Pierce, the fine defensive play on the other end. And Morton getting his fair share of ground ball outs now, 10 of them. Bad looking swing and a miss. Last 6 outs recorded via the ground ball. Take another look at Cedeno and that little body English.
Look, he's getting down with it,
Yeah.
Oh, you see the smile? That's right when he saw it picked. He's like, oh.
Save me a knee.
Yep. Good location there. You see Domet nodding his head, yes. I mean, they're really, I'm sure, concentrating on where he's throwing the ball tonight. You know, and Domet right there, he wanted that 0-2, wanted it down. Actually wanted it to bounce, and he put it shoot top high. And Domet immediately said, yes, that's what we want, right there.
Another one. Oh, swing and a miss. Yeah. That's going to be it. The strikeout. Soriano thinks he foul tipped it. Strikeout and 1, 2, 3.
That's a good curveball when the catcher can't even catch it.
Yeah, I'll say. Well, Charlie Morton having himself his best start of the season by far. 6 strong innings, and the Pirates lead 3-2.
with everything tonight, especially the off-speed pitches. Not just kidding. A lot of really good curveballs. There's an off-speed pitch. That's a changeup. But that hook has just been getting everybody out. Saw some real nice ones in that last inning. But we're seeing a ton of them that he's thrown. There's the last one. You know it's got good bite to it when your catcher's looking for it and you still hit him in the shin guard. I mean, that's a hard biting curveball. I mean, that's a great spot for it. He is really showing command of everything. And look at the walks. The big goose egg right there. And you look at his pitch count totals. Way more strikes than balls. Now here's a game, Greg, that you can look back and you can see a big, huge improvement.
You can talk about the other one, but this one is obvious. This one stands out.
This ball just popped up on the infield. It should go for the first out.
And I understand.
I want to get back to Charlie and his last start. I know the numbers were better, but I really didn't see that big of a change in what he was trying to do on the field. I just didn't see it. It was great that there was better results. Tonight, you can see a huge change on the field. What he has done tonight as far as his aggressiveness going after the hitters. Great to see. Greg, go ahead.
Well, Ryan Church will come to the plate.
If you look this way a little bit, I'll point at you when you can talk.
Thanks, Milo. Oh, drilled to right field. Look at this. Sail out of here. Ryan Church. Hit his first Pirate home run last night above the Clemente wall. This one, a beautiful shot to set the fireworks off and give the Pirates a 2-run lead.
I think when it's all said and done at the end of the year, Ryan's really going to like that Clemente wall. It's going to be a nice advantage for him. Just a hanger inside. An off-speed pitch, and so Church can really get to that ball quickly. There's really not a whole lot on it. Spin the wind.
Ryan Church vying for more playing time, and he's been getting some despite being extremely ill last night. Hit the home run that won the game. Starting in center field last night for Andrew McCutcheon, and starting in left field tonight. A Bucko blast. 4-2 Pirates lead. And Pierce rounds out the nice pick by Derek Lee at first. Coors Light freeze cam earlier tonight. Bobby Crosby, first batter in the bottom of the first inning. This double off of Kosuke Fukudome. Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Cedeno 2 for 2.
A good night for him. He'll start to get that batting average back a little bit. Couple hits in a row. Got himself in a little bit of a funk.
Miserable road trip. 2 for 28.
More hits tonight than he had on the road, or same amount.
2 for 28. One of those hits was a game-tying home run. It was a big one in Milwaukee.
Lost his spot in the batting order.
Meek warming up. Well, it's interesting that John Russell said before the game regarding the pitcher batting ninth for the third straight game. He said, it doesn't mean we won't go back to him batting eighth, the pitcher. We'll see what Ronnie does. If he swings better, we may move the pitcher back to eighth. Well, Cedeno has swung better the last 2 nights.
Maybe working himself back into that ninth spot.
Yeah. There goes 4-3. There's the final out of the inning. Ryan Church gives the Pirates a 2-run advantage with his second homer in as many nights. In 1999 at Wrigley Field, the Rockies become the first team in 35 years and only the third in the 20th century to score in every inning, a 13-6 win over the Cubs. Last time a team scored in all 9 was also at Chicago. The Cardinals beat the Cubs on September 13, 1964. Tonight's legendary performance sponsored by Cabot Woodstain. Charlie Morton facing Aramis Ramirez.
Oh, he's just snapping off some nice sliders. That was not the curveball. That's the slider. And how about the location on that? Dead perfect. He's going to come with a hook. Nothing wrong with that spot. Just a little below the knees.
Well, I'd say one of the key at-bats of this game, I don't know if Morton will point to it, but it sure seemed to be pivotal. After giving up 3 straight singles, 1 out in the 4th inning. He fell behind Ramirez 3-1. The bases loaded and 1 out. Got it to 3-2. Ramirez fouled off 2 or 3 pitches, and he got Ramirez to hit a sacrifice fly to right. Didn't buckle. Got the out. Then Fontenot followed with a base hit. And then he got Coy Hill to ground out. And there is Carlos Zambrano. Now, a reliever. A very expensive one. It's a liner to left on the breaking pitch. Leadoff hit here in the 7th for Ramirez. Starters comparison.
Well, not too bad. They compare rather well. Except the hits. That's the only really big difference there. Just 4 for Charlie. Ted gave up 9.
John Russell's going to go to the bullpen. Very positive outing for Charlie Morton.
All right, Chuck.
6 strong innings for Morton. 8-1-1 Columbia Gas called to the pen. Your team up to play. For more information, click on fsninsider.com. 20th annual Harmarville Hoops Classic on Saturday, June 19th. Evan Meek pitched a scoreless 7th inning last night.
Look at those stats. It's about as good as you can be here in the opening months of the season. The other night when he picked up that save against the Dodgers, how dominant was that 9th inning?
Yeah, that was dominant. Charlie Morton has to feel awfully good about this, his 6th start of the season. Now that is improvement.
Well done, Charlie. And that's the kind of pitcher he can be. 8 out of 10 starts. Very few people can go out and pitch like that all the time, but 8 out of 10.
Well, you'll certainly take 8 out of 10.
Man. Well, you're not always going to get the results like this, but I'm kind of talking about the way he pitched.
Yeah, I know.
Throwing the strikes, being aggressive in the strike zone, throwing something besides a fastball over the plate with some consistency. That's what I mean. Going out and doing that 8 out of 10 times. Then the results, they'll be what they're going to be. Again, back to controlling the things you can control.
Charlie Morton, 6+ 5 hits, 2 runs to this point, no walks, got 10 ground ball outs, struck out 3.
He did kind of the opposite of everything he was doing up to this point. The strikes, the ground balls, the off-speed pitches for strikes. Notice I say off-speed. No,
of course,
not committing to anything.
One ball, 2 strikes on Fontenot. RBI single in the 4th. Two balls, 2 strikes.
All the way through. Come on, kid, all the way through.
Tom Gorzolani, we will not see him this series. Pitched a good game over the weekend against the Diamondbacks. Got his first win of the year. Now 3-2 on Fontenot. Sweet Lou, his Cubs are 13-14. They have won 8 of their last 13 games. Right to the shortstop, 6-4. And, oh, what a nice play by Pierce for the double play.
Off the bat, it looked like it was going to be a routine double play. Just leading Cedeno right toward the bag, but things got a little interesting. And Pierce saves us. Excellent play. Second time tonight. He's done a fine job over there with the glove.
What a fabulous play by Pierce.
Watch his right foot keeping that toe right on the edge of the bag.
Pierce, again, we talked about this earlier, his second promotion of the year last season. He was so happy and relieved to be a first baseman. Now, he'll apparently play some right field this time around. He says he's okay with that, but he said, I came up through the minor leagues as a first baseman. And he's very, very proud of his defense.
He's very aggressive at first base. He moves around a lot. He'll come hard on the bunts. He likes to go to his right into the hole and backhand balls. As a pitcher, you better be over there for him. I mean, he's got good lateral movement, and you'll assume something's going to go through, or you'll assume that the second baseman's going to make the play, and you'll get caught being a spectator when Pierce goes over and grabs the ball and you're not there for him. Nice job. See that nice stretch he made again?
Very mobile over there. Coy Hill has struck out and bounced into a force play. And he grounds this ball to second. Evan Meek will have a scoreless 7th inning, and that closes the book on Charlie Morton. 7th inning stretch time. Pirates trying to win 2 straight over the Cubs to start this 9-game homestand. Oh, yeah, it's been a fiesta tonight so far for the Pirates. Saturday on Inside Pirates Baseball, see why exciting walk-off victories are becoming commonplace in Pittsburgh this season. Plus, hear what John Russell did as a player. It's one of the all-time great saves leaders. That's all Inside Pirates Baseball, Saturday at 6, only on FSN. Uh-oh. Green Man is out of here.
That's not. Is that Gumby or is it Green Man?
I don't know. I think that's
because he looked very flexible.
Taken after you.
Yep.
Well, here's the most expensive relief pitcher, setup man anyway, in baseball history, Carlos Zambrano. They needed some help in the 8th inning, and as you can see by the ERA, his starting wasn't going too well. And a ground ball off the bat of the pinch hitter, Aki Iwamura. Easy for you to say. Bounced off Ramirez.
So that's what I sound like, huh?
Iwamura retired 5-3 as the pinch hitter for Meek. So Zambrano now an 8th inning setup man, at least for the time being, for Marmol. Lilly gives up 4 runs on 9 hits in 6 innings.
I wonder how Zambrano is taking to this as far as his attitude.
Publicly, he sounds fine with it, saying all the right things.
I got to believe this. Tearing him up inside.
You sure would think so.
Very proud man. He usually wears his emotions, as we've seen many times, on his sleeve. Can't be happy with a demotion like this.
Crosby drives one far toward the corner. And a foul ball.
A little bit of a slicer.
Are you fine?
Crosby 1 for 3 against Lilly. A double in the bottom of the first inning to start that frame. Scored the first run. Struck out in the second. Struck out looking in the fourth. Up the middle, shortstop. Spin by Terrio, and no, safe as Lee comes off the bag.
And he had to. And that ball was going to be in the dugout. Lee made the decision just to go ahead and leave the bag and go get the baseball. Again, Terrio having to go way up, way deep up the middle in order to get a ball. And then he had to rush the throw and threw it away. And from that behind home plate camera, you see a replay again, it looked like he was playing up the middle to boot. Like he didn't really have to go that far.
Base hit. LaRoche up and in and swings. Oh.
Really? Only inches from his chin and he swung and missed. Zambrano, I don't know. It's compare guns. Sometimes it's difficult, but throwing as hard as we have seen him throw in the past. That one was 90. We had a lot of 91s, 92s. When he was really dominating as a starter.
Runner goes and it's fouled out of play.
It was 89. I mean, he could pitch mainly from about 93 up to 95, 96 at times. Very hard thrower. He could go out and just overpower people. He's got about 6 different pitches he can throw. I have to cut down on some of those coming out of the bullpen. When you're coming out and pitching one inning, there's not really time to mix in 6 different pitches.
He's not pitched in relief since 2002.
A lot of bullpen guys are just 2-pitch pitchers, usually a fastball, slider. Look like a forkball maybe there. Splitter, whatever name you want to put on it. It's always good though, just say it's an off-speed pitch.
There you go. 3-2. Zambrano has walked 11 in just over 23 innings. Runner goes again, swing and a miss. And it's going to be a strike him out, throw him out, double play. On to the 8th. Pirates lead 4-2. defensively by Steve Pierce. One ball in the dirt, and this great diving stretch to get the out. The Aspendeno plays that made you smile. Pierce all smiles when he was promoted to the big leagues for the first time this season. Yesterday, as they placed Brendan Donnelly on the disabled list, and Pierce getting the start tonight, and we could see him at first base for maybe a handful of games. As again, we said earlier at the top, they're going to try and sit Jeff Clement down and get some mechanics worked out with him. Chad Tracy bats for Zambrano.
Did the mechanics work on him?
Yeah, what do you think? You're a mechanics guy. Joel Hanrahan.
Like with wrenches and stuff?
Yeah. Hanrahan, a 1-2-3 eighth inning last night.
What kind of wrenches do you think they'll use?
That's your area.
My guess will be Huskies from Home Depot.
There you go. Sirree. Home Depot's where to go.
Husky wrenches guaranteed for life.
Guaranteed for life.
Oh, they got great tools at Home Depot.
Man. 0-2 count on Tracy. Batting for Zambrano.
I don't know why they're doing that.
You want to talk about what angers Zambrano probably more than anything? Now that he's in the bullpen, he doesn't hit anymore.
Yeah. And he can hit.
Yeah.
He's an excellent hitter and can hit him a long ways.
Two balls, two strikes. Zambrano, one of the best hitting pitchers in the game, is 20 career home runs.
You got to think that it's probably a temporary assignment.
Well, that's what they say. Yeah. Well, you're not going to spend $17 million on an eighth inning guy.
He'll be back in that rotation, and that's one of the reasons he can have a good attitude about it, because he knows that he'll be down there forever. But yeah, that guy can swing the bat. And if it was a one-run game instead of a two-run game, they might have let him hit. How many home runs did you say he had? 20?
20 career home runs.
Ooh, man.
Carlos Marmol ready to face the Pirates in the bottom of the eighth, with the Cubs down 4-2.
Foul ball. What do you think they're talking about, man?
What pitch Hanrahan's going to throw?
Oh, I know what I'd be talking about now.
Oh. They're saying, how can he not call that a strike?
There it is. Oh, that might have been outside, Greg.
Not that one.
You can't take two in a row.
Saturday on. Is Tracy going to head back to the dugout? Phantom of the Berg. Win 2 tickets to Phantom of the Opera. Submit a photo of your cheering section, your Pittsburgh team. Send photos to fan/tom@fsnpittsburgh.net. Phantom of the Berg. Win 2 tickets to Phantom of the Opera. Have you ever seen that one, Bob?
Yes, I have, Greg.
You and I think, and Tommy Sant went there in New York, right?
It's the only one I've ever seen
Same
in my
here.
life.
I'll confess.
I've one and only.
Yep.
I was so proud of myself being able to say, yes, I have, Greg, like I've seen a bunch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good time that night.
That was fun. And we always looked to Tommy for our culture, didn't we? Tommy Sant, former
very cultured guy.
Pirates first base coach, might be tuned in tonight somewhere. That's home.
Wine connoisseur.
Strike on Terrio. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. He is 0 for 3, and the Pirates now 5 outs away, leading by 2. And of course, they'll look for some insurance in the bottom of the 8th. But Hanrahan trying to get Terrio, and then on deck Fukudome. Hanrahan strikes out the first 2 batters he faces. Tracy looking, Terrio swinging.
Pretty impressive work. And this is how John Russell, I think, had the season envisioned, with Meek and Hanrahan working in tandem, 7th, 8th inning. Trying to set up the closer, Dotel. That's the way it's working out tonight.
Looking as though Terrio's 13-game hitting streak will come to an end. Fukudome 0 for 3. Hanrahan got him to bounce back to the mound as a pinch hitter last night. Here it's grounded to the right side. And good range there for Crosby to head over and cut it off. And it's a 1-2-3-8 for Hanrahan. Pirates look for insurance against Marmol. The T-shirt that you'll get tomorrow. The Pirates and Cubs 7:05 game. All fans get one at the gates, courtesy of Comcast. For tickets, visit Pirates.com. T-shirt Thursday tomorrow. All fans get one for the 7:05 game. Brian Burris will make the start for Pittsburgh against Randy Wells of the Cubbies. And hopefully we'll be talking about an opportunity for a sweep. That's something to celebrate. Pirates 3 outs away and now look for insurance against a tough right-hander in Carlos Marmol.
There's heat, 96. From a crazy angle. Not your prototypical smooth delivery. And I imagine that makes it that 96-mile fastball even more effective. When you see all those elbows and everything, and the ball coming out of the different angles. Hotel up and tossing in the pen. He'll come in and try to save this one.
26 strikeouts. Major League lead among relievers. We mentioned Ollendorf, Ross Ollendorf, making a rehab start for AA Altoona. And that's what he did. 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 7 strikeouts.
You look at those numbers, and it's got to be a slam dunk that he's going to pitch in 5 days.
59 pitches, 41 of them for strikes. So
59 pitches, 6 innings with 7 strikeouts? Did he throw any balls?
Apparently not.
Wow.
So he's on target to start Monday when the Reds come to town. What a gigantic lift it would be to have Ollendorf, the Ollendorf of the second half last season. And as you said earlier, Bob, if Morton could.
Well, that's really what I was banking on this year, was Ollendorf of last year. Morton, big step forward, pitching like he did tonight, 7, 8 times out of 10. And then, we know what we're going to get out of Maholm and Duke, which is, very steady work. And then you try and mix in, find a 5th guy somewhere, and now you got something. So, let's hope it's still going to work out that way, even though it certainly didn't go that way in April. With a win tonight, the team's only, 3 games under 500 mark? This Marmol guy's tough.
Tomorrow, Garrett Jones will be mic'd. The road ahead for the Buccos, brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward, 6:30 for the pregame here on FSN, Pirates and Cubs. And then Albert Pujols and the Cardinals come to PNC Park for a 3-game series. Zach Duke will start Friday night against St. Louis. His regular spot in the rotation would be tomorrow, but they're going to give him an extra day's rest. Have Burris start tomorrow night. So Duke will start against Chris Carpenter on Friday. Jeff Karstens will pitch Saturday night against Jaime Garcia. And Sunday it's Maholm against Adam Wainwright. Marmol tries to strike out the side and then give his Cubs a chance with the 3-4-5 hitters, Derek Lee, Marlon Byrd, and Alfonso Soriano against Octavio Dotel. Did he go? No. Dale Scott over at third.
Didn't go. How many strikeouts you say he had? 28 now?
28 now.
In how many innings?
Let's see. This if he gets his last out, be 13 2/3.
That is incredible. 28 strikeouts and 13 plus innings. 13 1/3 to this point.
13 2/3 if he gets this man. And he's aboard. No, but nicked by the pitch. Marmol says, "What's up with that?" That leads us to our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. It came in the 6th inning. Ryan Church, with the Pirates leading by 1, gives the Bucks a 2-run cushion with his 2nd homer in the last 2 nights above the Clemente wall. Cold Hard Blast, brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Marmol has not given up a home run this season. He has given up 1 in his career to Ryan Church. Hit to left, Soriano. Makes the hop and the catch, and Soriano due up third in the ninth. Octavio Dotel looking for his second straight save. Bucks up by 2. A good night for the Bucks and for the fans on hand tonight. Hey, it's not too early to think about Fan Appreciation Day. It's Sunday, September 26th. The Pirates and Mini of Pittsburgh giving away a Mini Cooper. Don't miss your shot at this convertible Mini Cooper along with other great prizes. Sunday, September 26th, Pirates annual Fan Appreciation Day. Register to win this convertible Mini Cooper on the Riverwalk here at PNC Park during every Pirates home game for the rest of the year.
How great would it be to have that car in spring training?
Oh,
just zipping around down there.
Sweet.
Right in and out of that traffic. It's always around. Top down.
Derek Lee leads things off. He walked against Dotel last night. Two balls, no strikes. Dotel picked up his 4th save of the season last night and his first save since April the 18th. Falls behind the leadoff man, 3-0.
Pirates have no walks tonight, do they? So Morton then hand-to-hand meet.
Three and one. And now a full count.
He's swinging at ball 4. Kind of thought he might be, taking 3 and 1. Down by 2 runs. You can't hit a 2-run homer with nobody on. They need base runners, and that definitely would have been one. That would have been way out of the strike zone. But he swung and made it a strike. Dotel gets another chance. And now you can't afford to take anything that's close.
And popped it up. Shallow center, McCutcheon coming in. That's the first out of the 9th inning.
A nice comeback by Dotel after going 3-0.
Pirates post-game is coming up next. Extended highlights and analysis, plus our closer Kent Tekulve ready to answer your questions and break down key plays. Pirates post-game is next on FSN.
Yeah, a lot of talking about pitching tonight, I would think.
Yeah. Paul Alexander will have a post-game interview. Marlon Byrd 1 for 3.
Hard to figure out on Byrd. Neither fish nor foul.
I think Paul and Teak will have some Bob Walk highlights, audio highlights, his puns throughout the evening. Hope you'll enjoy them. Oh, my goodness.
Got away inside. Yeah. Didn't want that to happen. Now they do have a base runner. Not a fastball, I don't believe. Some kind of an off-speed pitch. Byrd just kind of turned and let that ball bounce off his hip. Just no backing out of there on that one. Just kind of let it hit him, knowing that they needed base runners, at least one, and now they got it.
And now it is Alfonso Soriano.
Dotel can get a ground ball double play to end this game.
Soriano, yesterday, hit his 7th home run of the season, 5th in his last 4 games. He's homered in 4 straight games for the first time in his career.
He swung. Ask. Huh? Did he? Nope, no swing. Not a ask.
Never hurts. 1 ball, 1 strike. Soriano 1 for 3 tonight. And a strike call. Swing and a miss. Didn't matter whether they asked for the appeal or not.
Got him anyway. Kind of a free swinger. It goes up there first pitch, breaking ball down. Big cut. And they didn't ask on that one. There's strike 2. A good breaking ball, swing and a miss.
For the K. 2 down in the 9th. Pirates trying to win 2 in a row over the Chicago Cubs. Last year, the Pirates were 4-10 in the season series against Chicago.
Pirates showing some moves down there. That's quite the hand, isn't it?
And they'll let that runner take second.
Meaningless
Uncontested.
Run. Meaningless. Doesn't make any
difference
at all.
Domet going to go out and talk to Dotel after that one. It's defensive indifference allowing Byrd to go to second.
Let's go Bucks. Let's go Bucks. Let's go Bucks.
0-2.
Folks are getting into it. Waiting all night for this next pitch.
Raise the Jolly Roger. Back-to-back wins over the Chicago Cubs.
What a strong pitching performance tonight. No walks in the game. A lot of strikeouts. Pounding that strike zone. That a way to throw the ball, Chuck. Dotel gets the last strikeout, but boy, Charlie set the tone early.
What's the 5th save of the season for Dotel? And the fans loving it as the Bucks beat the Cubs in the first 2 games of this 3-game series, and a great start to a 9-game homestand. So now the Pirates can aim for the sweep over the Cubbies tomorrow night. That'll do it for our game coverage. Next telecast is tomorrow evening to wrap up this 3-game series. Brian Burris 1-1 on the year for the Buccos against Randy Wells, who's 3-0. Coverage begins with the Trib Total Media Pirates pregame show at 6:30. Then Tim Neverett joins Bob with the call starting at 7 right here on FSN Pittsburgh, bringing the game to you. Once again, our final score, 4-2, Pirates over the Cubbies. For Bob Walk and our entire FSN crew, this is Greg Brown. Thanks for watching, but stay tuned. The Pirates postgame begins right now.